How's it going, tubers? Jim Bobway here with a review of the Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka Tano from the Disney series Rebels. Let's get right into this review, shall we? Starting off with the articulation. First at the head, there is a ball joint in there, though because of her particular head tentacles, those do get in the way, so you can tilt it, move it side to side a little bit, not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of up and down either, like almost none. Most of that will be done with the upper or lower chest swivel there to go down and up. The shoulders are very good. They go up to basically 90 degrees. They swivel to 360. You have a hinge on the elbow, which works well, another 90 degree, almost 90, and then a swivel in there to turn that. The wrist is very small. You have a swivel, turn all the way around, and you have a hinge on the right to go up and down like so. And that is just a very small joint. I would be very careful with that one if I were you, on both arms. The other wrist moves in and out versus up and down. So you can bend it down like that and out like that all the way. And it swivels as well. In the lower chest, you have a sort of ball joint in there. You can actually do a 360 degrees around, and there's a little bit of up and down and tilt from side to side. She has a fabric skirt with rubber on the outside, and that gives well to some hip articulation. The hips can fold forward almost 90 degrees, and then you have inside the hip a swivel joint to turn the legs like so. Those can go around 360 as well if you wanted to. The knees are double pinned. They don't move a whole lot for a double pin. That's as far as they can move, but it is nice to have that double pin feature. The boots here, you have a little bit of ankle articulation in the boots, but because of this little flange going on here to keep the shape of the boot, there's not a whole lot. You can bend down, bend up, and there's a bit of a side-to-side swivel. Not a whole lot, again, with that material in the way, but it does the job well. Due to her feminine physique, the articulation is less than you would expect on, say, a larger figure, but it works great for the size, and I don't think they could have done a better job here. Let's move on to the paint and the details. So moving on to the head here, the face is printed very well. You have all of her facial tattoos. The eyes have a good amount of detail in there. The lips are painted as well. You have her little kind of a crown headdress there with that nice shiny metal on top. And her actual head tentacle, I don't know the technical term for this appendage. The paint job is nice. There is a little bit of flaking, like right here, and especially back here. There's some chipping back there, but it does look natural. You have some wrinkles in there and folds that look really nice. The armor and the clothing itself looks well. Her skin is very well painted on too as well, for like up here on the shoulders, the fingertips. They were sure to get that in there, and it looks good. You can see she has even a little spot, a little cut in the fabric, so you can see more of her skin. The paint application isn't the best there. You have another paint application for buttons here on her little forearm guard, and then you have a print for a metallic kind of hand guard there. Other side, you have the same thing going on here. It's a little better painted here. Same details on this, though a little lighter with the metallic color on this handguard versus the other one. This chest plate or breastplate has some little detail in there. You have a trim of silver going all the way around. It's molded well and it looks good, and it doesn't hinder the articulation too much. The actual fabric in there in the torso, you can kind of start to see, actually it looks like fabric molded in there, which looks nice. This rubber portion of her skirt is molded well. It's very light, especially the front. You can really move that, and so it doesn't get in the way with the articulation. It's more sturdy on the sides here, so she can't do much of a split, but it holds up well, especially for these hooks for mounting her lightsaber hilts. The legs, more fabric design. Oh, and also look at that, you have all that etching and engraving in this stuff that looks really well too. Got that belt right up there, which looks good. The legs, you can see more of the fabric detailing in there. Knee guards and the boots look like good, big, long leather boots, and they look really well. The back, not a whole lot going on in the back. Back of the boots, you can see even a seam for the back of the boot, how normally a boot would be made out of leather, which is a nice piece of detail they added in there. Back of the head looks nice. Let's move on to the lightsabers. So this figure comes with two lightsabers. You have the curved one and this smaller one. There's a little bit of printing or paint application on both of these. One for the button on the small one, and then a few black pieces of black on the larger one, and then the button on two buttons on the side. They come in light blue for the blade itself, which is curious as to this is labeled as a Rebels figure, and I remember in the Rebels series she uses white bladed lightsabers, so that's a little weird. It's nice though, because the 7th season of the Clone Wars she does have light blue lightsabers, so that is cool to have that. You cannot detach the blade from the hilt, so it's a little awkward when you actually put these on her belt. You know, you have a full-on blade just hanging down, which doesn't really look right, but I will show you how those go on. So you may have noticed these little hooks on both sides of her skirt. There are holes on the end of the lightsaber hilts that you can use to loop right in there, and they hold on. They hang, but because of that blade, especially the big one, it's a little too long for standing up. Doesn't work. The other side, you have the shorter one. Again, another ring, and it goes on pretty well. Now, if you wanted to say maybe cut these blades off, just so she has the hilts for display purposes or maybe animation purposes, you can do that. You could possibly buy two figures just to get a second set of the lightsabers, so you have a full bladed set and then just the hilts. So I would like to be able to have that removable, but I can understand for the durability and the stability of this lightsaber, having that a removable piece. Oh, you know what? It spins. The blade twists, but I don't think it's removable, and I am not going to try to remove it because I don't want to break this. Perhaps maybe they are removable. There is just too much force required to try and remove that, and I don't want to break this. So if anyone in the comments knows with experience for these Black Series figures, if they are removable, please let me know. But so far telling, it's just two different pieces of plastic, and that's like clamped in there really well. So I don't think it's meant to be removable. But they do look good, just the hilt itself on the belt. So it's a shame that that blade is still there. The lightsabers do fit in her hands really well. They're easy to get in and easy to remove, and they hold in well. They don't fall out. They stay in there. They're pretty sturdy, and they look good too. So that covers it for my review of the Star Wars The Black Series Ahsoka Tano figure from the Rebels show. Overall, I think the paint applications, the detail, the sculpting, all of that is really well done on this figure. The articulation is good for the scale, for the size, especially of her physique. It works well, except for, you know, the neck joint, though that is understandable considering her head shape is not particularly normal when it comes to a humanoid, where you can have like a 360 range of motion. It's understandable for that limited motion, but you still get a little bit out of it, and that works well. So we're going to close this out with a few snapshots.